Good evening and welcome to College Press Box. I'm your host, Hannah Burbank. We have a packed show for you all tonight, so let's get right into it with some men's basketball. Beautiful ball movement from the Longhorns. Then on the counter, they find Andrew Jones for a nice easy layup to give the Longhorns a 46-44 lead. But the Cowboys fight back with Harris finding an easy path to the basket. It's all tied up, but Ramey says not for long and sinks a beautiful three-pointer to give Texas the lead. Well, you can't talk about Texas volleyball and not mention Logan Eggleston's name. She tied her season high with 20 kills in Thursday's game. She led the team with 13 kills in Friday's game. She's just a dominant player and leader for Texas. Then Jenna Gabriel had a great performance as well. She had 38 assists on Thursday and 30 on Friday, and she's really been working on establishing the middle early and getting that right side involved instead of being so left side heavy. And she did a great job at executing that. And finally, you mentioned Nilani Yosia had 5 aces. She has a killer jump serve that there's really no stopping her when she finds her groove. It was a tough game for the Longhorns on Saturday. Texas had a variety of issues that really impacted the game for them. For one thing, the Longhorns committed 12 penalties for 92 yards in the game. That's something they're going to have to clean up moving forward and be way more disciplined about in the coming games. But it's very fixable, so it's nothing to be too concerned about right now. But Texas also had a hard time developing a consistent run game against TCU. Whether that's because of the penalties or TCU's defense, there would be some great plays, and then there would be others where no yards were gained at all. So it was kind of this all or nothing game for Texas.
Joining me from TSTV Sports is Hannah Burbank.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Texas baseball is on a roll. The Longhorns have started the season at 8-0. They captured another big victory against UTSA. Here's Jaxie Pigeon at the dish with the scoop. I'm now joined by our football analyst, Jason Conander. Thank you for being here. Jason, it was a nail-biter of a game on Saturday with it going back and forth between the Longhorns and the Red Raiders. Diving into the game, what are you thinking? Happy to leave Lubbock with the win, or was it too close for comfort? Well, they have quite a few standout players, but Nilani Yosia, she's the freshman libero for Texas, has really caught my eye this season. She's a very talented player with a killer jump serve, and she got her first start of the season against Baylor when Morgan O'Brien tested positive for COVID. Yosia stepped in, and she had 38 digs and 12 assists that series. Then against West Virginia, she performed well once again, had 24 digs and 11 assists in those games. I think her future at Texas is very bright if she keeps progressing this way. And considering she's a freshman and already getting great game experience and exposure, she's a quality addition to this Texas team. It was a tough and physical match between these two teams. Texas ended up with 9 fouls during the game, and TCU racked up 8 of their own, so it was definitely a high-intensity matchup. Texas did have their opportunities. They took 20 shots throughout the game. However, for the most part, TCU did control the speed of play. They put pressure on Texas's back line, and if you look at the stats, all of TCU's 3 goals were scored well inside the Longhorns' 18-yard box. Texas just could not clear it out of the back.
Well, right now there isn't necessarily that Miranda Ellis star player at the moment for Texas, but there are some promising players. And like you said, they are fairly young teams, so there is time to develop. One of those players being Shea O'Leary, a sophomore pitcher for Texas. She's been putting up some numbers this season. She made 8 relief appearances this year. Her ERA is sitting just under 2 with 88 strikeouts. And in April, she was named the Big 12 Pitcher of the Week. So she's an impactful player for Texas, we're seeing, and still only a sophomore.
From all of us here in our virtual studio, we want to thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Hannah Burbank. Have a great night.